No,
I pulled up. I said, "Boy, we in the sticks of Magnolia, boy."
it may be like we have a artist here who use crayons. They're like, "Ooh, why the crayons?" You know, that's
Right.
yeah.
So it's real casual, man. You don't got to be like stern. I mean, you
Oh
we
no,
talked on the
no.
phone about, so you don't got to be
Oh, I got you.
presidential. You can be
I'll be
the
fluent
casual
as
Eric Graham, not the town commissioner.
I'll roll with that.
What's going on, folks? Nigel Jones here with another episode of My Type of People. We're here in Magnolia, North Carolina, and I have a very special guest with me today. We have journalist, author, cartoonist, musician, and also town commissioner of Magnolia, Eric Graham.
What's going on, bro?
How's it going?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Hey, we're going to jump right into it, man.
All right.
So let's start from the beginning. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Like you do a lot as a creative. So what really influenced you to do all of those things?
Well, I always say I like to thank my mother who gave me my creative talent. When I was smaller, we used to stop at Brenson's drugstore in Keensville.
Okay.
She would always buy us comic books. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Incredible Hulk. And when she got off to work, she would draw. She would draw these characters for me and my brother. And I always say part of my creative essence came from my mother and the great Stan Lee, who is the mastermind behind Marvel Universe.
Right.
But I also like to give a creative side to my father. My father used to do like modeling cars. And he had a van where he customized, had a bed in it, refrigerator, carpet. So that's the beginning of my level of creativity. So I always cherished it. And I love the fact that she gave it to me. And as I can say, my mother also was a fashionable woman. As you can see, I'm rocking a hat. Now to try to steal my hat look today. Let me explain. Let me say that he's rocking an ascot. So fashion is also part of that creativity that my mother gave me. So I'm glad you had an opportunity to come to the small town of Magnolia, where we say small town produce great people. So we're glad to have you here, man.
Definitely, man. I'm glad to be here. I had to channel the Eric Graham today with the hat, man. I had to capture you today.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
Man. So that was the goal. So going into that, man, you said the comic books and everything. So what are some of your personal projects? So you were a children's book writer in Indiana. You were a cartoonist in New York. Do you have something that sits at the top of the list for Eric Graham, or even like a favorite location? Because you've been everywhere, man.
Well, I always say there's a thing I'm doing now as far as the music. As I said, live from my nanny's house. So most of the things of the project I did came live from my nanny's house. And I had an opportunity to come back home to take care of my grandmother. So taking care of my grandmother sparked some of that creativity, what you're saying. And I did it live from her house. Again, talking about a creator who I got inspiration from. My grandmother was a baker. And she would design cakes, all types of cakes, all types of design. And because she knew I love Superman and Spider-Man, she would incorporate on her birthday cakes. So with that level of creativity, like I said, I wrote some children's book and created a character called Bobbee the Hater. And that Bobbee the Hater I used as a form of child therapy. Play is essential for all children. So I took that cartoon character and I went into the school system and I designed an anti-bullying program, anti-gang and drug campaign from the cartoon. And one thing about cartoons, some people some of my friends ask, well, why were you doing that? And cartoonist or cartoon itself is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, definitely.
And sometimes cartoons teach moral lessons, not necessarily for kids, but for adults as well.
For adults, yeah.
So to answer that question, that's probably been one of my biggest success as far as the level of creativity, as far as the cartoon character I created. The cartoon is an ethical cartoon. Sometimes we don't see ourselves in the cartoon world or in children's books. So the kids, it's refreshing to get to see themselves within the cartoon world. So that's probably one of my biggest accomplishments as far as level of creativity, which I would say.
Because we don't have really that representation for Black and brown people. So it's good that you created that to really not only tell the story, but just give like, inspiration around the world with your cartoons. So in terms of what do you enjoy the most in terms of everything you do? You got the journalism, you got the drawing, you have the music, man. So, or do you feel the same way about everything that you do?
Well, being again, I want to say this. Didn't say it in the intro. I'm a graduate. Went to Salem State University. I got a degree in mass communications, radio and television, with a minor in history and African American studies. So the point of being a communicator is you touch all facets of life. So it's the cartoon, like you said, it's the music, it's the journalism. So you always want to be able to communicate to your people in all aspects in life. I'll say at the particular time, because the power of hip hop music, I'm embracing that a little now because music touches one's soul and spirit.
Right.
And at the current time, some people question whether hip hop is even relevant at this time. So I went back and tried to create music that had meaning, that had impact, and it also taught culture and history as well. So
absolutely.
Music right now, but
so you're tying your music into your history that you taught.
Absolutely. So, and again, like I said, that's an aspect of communication. I'll say I'm doing now adult contemporary hip hop. So it's hip hop is a young person's game. I never run from that, but it's a young person's. But however, older people who love hip hop, they still want to hear music that can resonate with them. So taking on that aspect of communication is something I'm loving now. Something I'm loving.
I said, hold on, man.
Yeah, we gonna, like I said, we gonna touch on the aspect like, yo, man, hell of a show. How you do that?
So, Eric, in your current role as a town commissioner, do you have an opportunity to use your creative skills?
Are we going now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go. So, Eric, in your current role right now as a town commissioner, do you have an opportunity to use your creative skills?
Actually, I do. It was a slow process in the beginning. Again, I have a communication background, journalism. So what I was telling the mayor, my town manager, as well as the other commissioners, that we always want to highlight the town's goodness or the good in the town as far as its individual. So my journalism background, when I did work for the local newspaper down here, I've always reported stories that were impacting Magnolia as far as the positive, as well as those who achieved in higher education. So after talking to the town manager, my mayor, they gave me access to the building to do these types of interviews. I will be doing, soon I'll be doing a local podcast that deals with politics, as well as those who have entered higher education from the town of Magnolia. And they gave me access to literally write those stories on our Facebook page. So the journalism part, it comes in to write stories that reflects the greatness of the town of Magnolia, which I don't think has been done before. So my level of creativity is shining as a young person who's getting in politics to highlight some of the good things that we're doing here. We always talk about messaging. Sometimes we have a town board meeting and we're apt on the messaging. What I did is all of our town board meetings now go on Facebook. We broadcast them live. That's a town obtained a thing called an owl, 360 owl, which covers the whole room. So those who cannot make our Tuesday night meetings can see it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that's a part of my creativity peeling over into politics.
So let's say in the next 5 to 10 years, what does it look like for Eric Graham? What is that next thing for you?
Ooh, that's that college question that the professor asks you, or your mate asks you, where you see yourself in the next 5 years? And sometimes that's a difficult question to answer because I think the world is changing, futuristic, future-wise. Technology is enhancing so much. again, I may continue my my run in politics. I think sometimes you run from politics because everything is political. Right. So you might can pass some legislation that may help the town to grow. Educational wise, I'm gonna still do my cartoon Bobbee B. There's a thing.
Yeah, you got to keep that. Man. That's an inspiration for everybody.
There's a thing about doing cartoons because once the character's been created, he's gonna speak to you. So every day you wake up, he wants his voice to be heard, as well as for you to draw his image to keep him alive. I'm going to say that as far as the power of a cartoon, I'll say his name, the great Walt Disney. The great Walt Disney created a character called Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, Pluto. These cartoons were so impactful that Walt Disney actually built a kingdom here on Earth through the power of his cartoon. So again, the cartoon has a power because it teaches moral and principles. No different from, again, the great Stan Lee, I would say. He created Marvel Universe, and it lives on forever.
Yeah, that's for a lifetime.
From the power of myth. So when we think we're done with Spider-Man, Spider-Man comes back in the next generation, teaching the same lessons.
The same stuff.
So with my cartoon, on that level in the future, I hope to be able to still draw him like Charles Schultz of Peanut, Charlie Brown. That this character continues to grow and have an impact on the next generation of kids, and where his name or that name will be a mainstay in Black society or the world alone. So hopefully I can continue to do the cartoon on a journalist aspect, always continue to write. More likely there'll be books coming out. Some people say, well,
he do it all, man.
Why haven't you written a book? And I'll say sometimes in this generation, they get most of their news off the internet, so they're really not purchasers of books. But I'm probably going to do one anyway on the academic level. Hopefully, the people read it. Like I said, through the power of YouTube, talk shows, or just social doing interviews
and social media,
and show us in the positive light. Just no different from what you're doing. I praise you for even coming to the small town of Magnolia and wanting to interview me. So this continues to kind of put me in the limelight to show what Magnolia is doing or is capable of doing.
Definitely, I'm really looking forward to see like how Magnolia will look in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right, absolutely.
Especially using that creativity you said earlier and putting that out there.
Yeah. Now, one thing again, I want to say, dealing with the level of creativity is in art. I'm working on a project now to actually bring art to the town. I think art is a living, breathing entity. So maybe some murals on some brick walls, maybe some statues, or just artwork throughout the town that people can appreciate. Most time, people from small towns, they go to larger towns simply for the art.
Yeah,
it's the music, it's the dance, it's the shows, it's the architect. All this is art and a level of creativity. So we want young people who are architects to maybe come down to renovate our urban area. We want performers to come down. Hopefully we have concerts taking place in Magnolia, jazz, folk, hip hop maybe. But when people embrace the art, sometimes people don't appreciate the arts until they don't have it.
Yeah, until they
exactly. A good painting is, like I said, that's a teachable moment. Great artwork as far as colors. Even the design of this room, with the help of Mary Dawn, we're working on, but you can see the uplifting of people simply from the artwork.
You can't beat a good Picasso.
And we probably at 16. I'm watching the clock, so you got 14.
Because to edit it and stuff, it's probably, I say maybe 20, maybe 20 minutes adding some.
That's right, because we had a little
footage.
break.
Yeah, and any other stuff, I might record you like still drawing and doing your thing. So while that can be toward the end, I can get you drawing. You know,
absolutely. Let me get that magic marker. Douglas, don't know. One thing with me with art, some people are like, well, why don't you do digital? I'm like, well, my creative aspect is I do Sharpies and crayons. That's my style, because that's a lost art form for us growing.
Yeah, everything online now. You got AI
That's right.
and all this.
You know
It's like, all right, we got the traditional.
Yeah, here's an old school, old fashioned. They like, I like your cartoon, but man, go do it digital. I'm like, no, everyone does that. Yeah. Here's a style like, yo, have you? Can you
that's old school. Yeah.
Oh, that's
because you detail with crayons too, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. As far as when I do it on a general level, the kids like, oh, that's nice. But they may have lost the art of using crayons and magic marker. That's and nobody use that no more. No. So that's a technique. Or I'm putting it in a different. Here's an old school technique that in the future it may be like we have an artist here who use crayons. They're like, ooh, wow, the crayons. You know, that's right. You know, you have created a lane for yourself.
That's true.
To teach, even though the world went to like, yo, man, everybody goes digital. Everybody's doing AI. Same thing with music. I want to talk.
We good. Hey, this is good footage, man. Hey, we rolling.
Okay, yeah. So it's cool. It's about like music, right? The drum machine comes,
right,
and then some cats lose the art of how to play the drums, or play in the band because everything is so technical. But then someone comes like, yo, I know you got the beat machine. Let me show you how to do that 1-2 on the drum. They're like,
yeah,
that's a different skill now.
Different skill set.
Because at one time, that's no different with the DJ. That's artwork.
Yeah, that's
a skill. Yeah. That's an art skill set. However, the old DJs now they have pre-programmed machines, right? In their musical sets. Back in the day, that DJ is cutting the scratch, and now they're doing it on a machine, and they're like, that's not pure. So
that's a good set because my fact, YouTubers, you watching this, put in the comment section your skill set.
Right, absolutely.
That would be so we love to see it. So we love to see it, man. All right, Eric. So anything you would like the people to know, like where can people find you or your work, or just anything you want people to know about you?
Right. Well, musically, you can go to Automax. Hear some of the music, like or dislike. Facebook, which I do some of my hard journalism. It's on Graham ER. And I have a blog called Bobbee the Hater blogspot.com. You can see some of the creative stories. And I do a cartoon. He'll probably come back. Bobbee the Hater cartoon usually runs on Mondays after the football game because Bobbee is actually a sports cartoon. He covers political issues. All right. So Bobbee used to appear on a site called blackathletesports.com. They were the first sports network to utilize my cartoon on a daily basis. It's now Black Sports News Network, which I still do. So Bobbee is actually a combination of athletes. Give me a story, Bobbee. Okay. Bobby's hair is the hair of Rasheed Wallace. So y'all know Rasheed Wallace. You know he had some kingly hair, as we would call it.
Yeah.
His attitude was that of Allen Iverson. So y'all know Allen Iverson. Practice.
If you don't know, look up Allen Iverson.
Yeah,
everybody be talking about.
Correct. Because some people might not think Allen Iverson is good anymore. You know how that goes. Allen Iverson. The shorts was that of Kobe Bryant, and his overall persona was that of Terrell Owens, who was a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. So if anyone knows anything about Philly, Philly is the city of brotherly love. However, his name is called Bobbee the Hater because he literally hates everything, so it seems. So that comes, his name is an acronym. His anger teaches everyone's reality. So those are some of the places you can go on YouTube, just put in Bobbee the Hater. You can see some of the music, some of the creative videos that I put together. So, we're all over the place, man.
Right. Hey, folks, that concludes another episode of My Type of People. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Eric.
No problem,
for inviting me to good old Magnolia. Hey, that's it, folks. Until next time, peace out.
Peace, bro. Yeah, man. Thank Nigel for coming through, and there'll be more shows like this. And Nigel will be on the other end as I interview because he's a great artist as well. So again, I thank you guys for coming in. We have conversations, not confrontations. We have dialogues, not debates. And we tackle the problem and not the people. So welcome to Magnolia.